Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to be building a online file storage application, and for completing this, we'll be using Cloudinary as our cloud storage where users will be able to store their files, and for database, we'll be using Cloud Firestore for storing all the data like which user has uploaded which files, and for authentication, we'll be using Firebase Auth. By the end of this video, we'll be making an online file storage application where a user, after authentication, they will get the option to upload their files, either images or videos. They will be also able to preview the image or the video that they have uploaded, and if they want, they can also delete from the storage. In case of delete, the data will get deleted from Firestore and the image will be also getting deleted from Cloudinary storage. And if they want to access or download the image, that's also shown in this video. When they click on download, the file will get downloaded inside the downloads folder. So let's start this video. Now, for storing our images and videos, we need to be creating a new account in Cloudinary. Visit cloudinary.com. Click here, sign up for free. Here you need to either log in with your Google account or Github, or you can also log in with your email. For now, we can just skip this part. Now, after you have created your Cloudinary account, you need to visit Go to API Keys. Here you will be having a default API key created for you. From here, we need to visit Upload Presets because we need to create an upload preset. This will be used when the user inside your app uploads some images or videos inside our Cloudinary storage. So let's click on plus, add upload preset. Here you can name it anything like preset for file upload and make it unsigned. If we make it unsigned, then we'll not be requiring the API key and the secret key for uploading the file. And here we need to also mention the folder. We don't have any folder, but I want that when the users upload the images, it should go to some specific folder. So let me just name it as public uploads and then just save it. So now we have created a file upload preset. This we are going to be using for uploading files inside our Cloudinary storage. Just open the specific folder where you want to create your Flutter project. Then type Flutter, create, and the name of the project, let's name it as Flutter Cloudinary file upload. And now just navigate to the folder and open it in Visual Studio Code using the code space dot command. Click on I trust the author. Now open the left folder main.dart and just run your file for once. Test the demo app is working correctly or not. Now our default Flutter app is working correctly. First, let us just create a default home page. Remove the demo code that we receive and create a new folder, name it as views, and inside we'll make a file home.dart. Use stateful shortcut, create a stateful widget, name it as homepage. Just add a simple scaffold here. It will have an app bar of title text, your files, and now instead of this home, we'll be using routes. Let's use routes. For now, our root route will be the home page that we have created. Now let's restart our application. Now it is showing your files. Now inside left folder, we'll create one more folder. This will be services. Let's create a new file, name it as Cloudinary service.dart. Now in this Cloudinary service.dart file, we are going to be writing the logic for uploading a file inside our Cloudinary storage. Before writing this, we'll be requiring some packages. Open the terminal, use Flutter pub add. First we'll be requiring http flutter.env file picker and just install it. Now we can start writing our functions for uploading files to Cloudinary. Since we'll be dealing with secrets, it's better to create a .env file so that we can hide our secret keys. So here I'm creating a .env file and I've also installed the flutter.env package, as you can see here. Now what I need to do, here your assets are commented, just uncomment it, and here just add .env file and save it. Make sure that the indentation is correct, means here it will be 2 space and then it will be .env. If you get any problem here, it will just tell that you are having some problem in your pubspec file. Just try to fix it. Now after we have created our env file, here we need to store our secret keys that we'll be requiring in our application. First we'll be requiring our Cloudinary cloud name. Inside our dashboard, you'll find that our cloud name, it is this. Just copy it from here and paste it inside your .env file. And we need to also tell our flutter.env package that there exists a .env file. So for that we need to initialize it first. Just make this main function async and then use widget flutter binding ensure initialized, and then we can add await .env.load and the file name of our env file as .env. Just import the flutter.env package. Now it's okay. Here just change the name of the app title like it's showing. Let's name it as online drive. And now we can use .env inside anywhere in our files. Here we'll be creating a future return type of boolean function upload to Cloudinary, make it async, and here we'll be passing the file picker result directly to here to this function. So let's pass this here, file picker result. It may be null, so just add a question mark. And now first, if there is no file picker result, then there is no meaning to call the upload function. First we'll do that validation. If our file picker result is equal to null or file picker result is empty, in that case we'll first print no file selected and then we'll return false. This was our first validation. And if there exists a file picker, then we should start with our upload process. First we need to get our file. It will be a file. This file we need to import. This is from dart.io. It will be file and we need to convert the file picker result to file. So we'll use file picker.files.single.path, and now our file picker result has converted to file object. Now we need to read the Cloudinary cloud name that we have stored in our .env file. So let's create a string cloud name, and here we'll read our Cloudinary cloud name that we have written. We need to also import .env file. It will be from flutter.env, and now inside our cloud name, the cloud name that we have written in .env file will get stored. Now we need to send a file using multipath request in HTTP. So let's just create a multipath request. Here we are creating the uri.parse. Here we need to get the Cloudinary API URL. This will be api.cloudinary.com version 1.1. Then our cloud name. Then the type of the file that we are uploading. Since we'll be uploading several images and videos, so for that reason I've chosen raw. And then upload. So it's just mentioned here that we need to upload in this way. Here instead of image, I'm just choosing raw. I will link this documentation inside the video description. Now we'll be creating a request variable http.multipath_request. The method will be post as it is mentioned here, and we need to also import HTTP. This will be, so we cannot import HTTP like that. We need to use http.dart and we need to call it as HTTP. First we need to read the file as bytes, so we are converting it to bytes using this function. And now here we are creating a multipath file, http.multipath from bytes, and we are just adding the files inside our request.files. Now we need to also add the upload preset. Here we'll be using the recent preset that we have created. Here inside upload preset, this was the unsigned preset that we have created. Just copy the name of this preset and paste it here. If we use this preset, we'll not be requiring the API key and secret key for uploading the file, and then we'll be also requiring to pass the resource type of this file, and it is going to be raw. And now we can send our request, and after we send our request we'll get some response. So we are storing the value of response in a response variable, and then we are creating a response body variable and storing the response as string, and then converting the bytes to string, and then we are printing the response.body. If our response.status code is 200, it means our file has been uploaded successfully. In that case we'll return true, and else in that case we'll return false. We are also going to be printing the status code. Now we need to just call this function and pass our file picker result, single file that we have picked, and it will upload inside our Cloudinary storage. Inside our home.dart, here we are having a simple scaffold. Here let's add a floating action button. Here we'll be having a floating action button. For now let's just make it as a void function, and then add the child as icon of icons.add. Now when we click on this add button, we want to open our file picker, and from there we want the user to either pick an image or video file, and after that when they click on upload, it will upload that file inside our Cloudinary storage. So let's do that. Here let's just create a file picker result variable underscore file picker result, import the file picker package. Here we'll create a void underscore open file picker function. We'll use this function to open our file picker and pick the file and store it underscore file picker result. Let's make this an async function. Here we'll be having a result variable where you'll use await file picker dot platform dot pick files. Here we'll be only selecting single files, so we are disabling allow multiple, and our allowed extensions will be JPG, JPEG, PNG or MP4 for video. And then we need to also specify our file type. For that we have just written file type.custom, and in set state we'll just set the result data that we are having from our file picker to our underscore file picker result. And here when we are pressing this function, when we are pressing this button, we need to call our underscore open file picker function. Let's test it. If we click here we are getting some error. Just stop the app and run it again from start. Now let's try to open file picker. So here it's opening the file picker. Let's select a file. Now it should select our file picker result, so we can't verify that. For that let's just create a file inside our views folder. Let's name the file as upload area.dart. Here let's just create a stateful widget upload area. Just add a scaffold app bar. Title will be app bar, will have a title of text upload area, and here we will be passing our file picker result to this widget. So for that, since we'll be using named routes, so we need to accept that data in form of model route. So here we are creating a selected file variable where we'll be using model.route.offcontext.settings.arguments. We'll be passing our file picker result and we'll convert it to file picker result, because we'll be passing our file picker result to this widget. For that, and we need to also import file picker result. Now we need to also add it inside our routes, that if we call /upload, it means that we are implying to upload area. Now it's okay. We need to pass our file. So what we can do here, when we set our file picker result to the result that we have, after that we can just use navigator.push named. We'll push it to our upload area. So let's just use /upload. Since we are accepting the file picker result in form of arguments, we need to pass it in form of arguments. Result was inside file picker result, and now we can get the selected files from our arguments, and we are also converting it to file picker result. Now after we have converted, here we need to show the name of the file, the file size and the extension. So here we are going to be creating a very simple UI. Just inside body will be having a column will have the children's. First we'll use text form field, and here first we'll be using decoration to import decoration. Label will be text name. So let's test it. Just pick one file. Now we are getting redirected to this upload area widget. Now here we need to also pass the value. So our initial value will be inside selected file dot files dot first dot, and here we need to show the name. So let's just use name, and we don't want the user to edit it, so we can just use read only to true. Now it's okay. We need this type of 3 text form fields. Here we'll be storing the extension, and here we need to show the size. Since size will be in form of integer, we need to convert it to string. Let's do one thing. Let's just use dollar and the size, and then it is in form of bytes. So let's just add bytes. It will be the size. So now it's okay. The name is not coming. Let's just try to upload the file again. Let's pick the file. Now name is also coming, the extension and the size. Let's add some padding, otherwise it's not visible. Now it's okay. Here the name is coming, extension, and the file size. Now after this text form field, we'll be having a sized box of height 20 for some spacing, and after that we'll have a row will have children's. Here we'll be having 2 buttons, either to upload or cancel. If they press cancel, they will go back. If they press upload, then it should upload the file inside our Cloudinary storage. Let's use an outline button. For now, make it a void function. Text will be as cancel, and when we press this cancel button, we'll use navigator.pop to redirect back to our previous page that we are having, our home page. And after this outline button, we'll be having an elevated button. For now, let's just add a void function. Here the text will be as upload, or we can use elevated button only for this. Now it's okay. Let's add some spacing in between them. For this we'll be using let's use a sized box of width 25, and we need to make this buttons in center. Let's use main axis alignment dot center. Now both the buttons are in center. Now let's take all the space that is available. For this, let's swap it with expanded widget. We'll be also using expanded here. Now it's okay. Here we can either cancel it or upload it. So if we cancel it, we are getting redirected back. Now in case of upload, we have already written the function for uploading our file to Cloudinary. We need to just pass our file picker result. Currently, if we check our Cloudinary dashboard, here in Media Explorer, here we only have some demo files after creating our account. Here we don't have any files. So we'll be calling this function. We make it async first, and now we'll be use await upload to Cloudinary. We need to import this function from our Cloudinary service.dart file, and then here we need to also pass our file picker result, and it will be inside our selected file, and this function is returning either true or false. So we can just create a final result variable, and if the result variable is true, in that case we can just show a scaffold messenger. In that case we can just show a snack bar using scaffold messenger dot of context dot show snack bar, and the snack bar, so the content will be text uploaded, or you can say file uploaded successfully. In case if we don't get the result, it means that we are having some error. In that case, we'll just show that cannot upload your file, So let's just select a file. Let's use this file. Let's upload this. Let's check what we are getting here in response. Here we are getting file uploaded successfully, and here also we are getting upload successful. Now if you notice, I have just printed the response here. Here we are getting the asset ID, our public ID, version ID, signature, resource type, and when the file was created, the size in bytes, the type, e-tag, and the URL. This is the HTTP URL, and if we use secure URL, this is the secure URL. Now let's just copy this URL, and if we open this URL inside any browser, you will find the image. Now it has just uploaded the image. Let's check our console. So inside dashboard, it has now created a public uploads folder, and here if we check, here our file got uploaded. So this was the file. Now what we need to do, after we are returning, in the case if our file is getting uploaded, in that case we can just use navigator.pop context. Now here we need to also show the image to the user who has uploaded. So for this, for storing, we could have used SQLite for storing it locally, but since most of you are going to be using some other services, so for that let's just use Firebase Firestore for that, so that we can show that a specific user has uploaded this amount of files. So for this, what we are going to be doing, we'll be using Flutter pub add. First we'll be using Firebase core, Firebase auth, since we'll be authenticating the user, and user will be able to upload images or videos inside their own account. And then we'll be also requiring Cloud Firestore. Let's just install. Now after we have installed these packages, we need to do one more thing. Inside our build.gradle, inside Android/app, here we need to change our minimum SDK version to 23, because latest Firebase SDKs don't work in SDK version lower than 23. Now let us just quickly write the functions for Firebase authentication for authenticating the user. Now inside the Firebase console, you can either create a new project or you can use your existing project that we have created. So in this case, let's just create a new project. Let's name it as online drive. Click on continue. We don't need Google Analytics, and click on create project. Now here we need to be selecting Flutter. Since our application is in Flutter, we need to install Firebase CLI first. Now for installing Firebase CLI, you need to simply run this command npm install -g firebase tools, and it will install Firebase CLI inside your system. But before running this command, make sure that you have installed Node.js. Node.js is installed in your system and Node.js is greater than 80. You can simply check the Node version using Node, just typing the command node -- version. So mine one is 20. And now after you have installed Firebase tools, we need to use Firebase login. Here it's telling whether it will collect your error data or not. For now, let's just select no. Here we need to select our email, click on continue and click on allow. Now our login was successful. Here it's also showing as this email. Make sure that this email is the same email where we have created the project. Now we have already created our Flutter project, then we can proceed. Now we need to run this command to activate our Flutter Fire CLI. Just run this command and then run this command to configure our project. For now, let's just use for Android and iOS only. Here we need to add the name of our application inside our build.gradle file. Here we are having the name of our file. Just copy this and paste it here. Make sure that the file name is correct, matching with your application ID that we have. Now wait for some time. Now you will find a Google service.json file created and a Firebase option file also being created. Now inside our main.dart file, here click on next. Here we need to just call this function firebase.initialize app. Just copy this, and after widget.flutter binding ensure initialized, just paste this command. This Firebase, we need to import it from Firebase core, and default Firebase option is inside this file. Just import this. Now we have successfully set up Firebase for our application. Now just stop the application once and run it again from scratch. Now if we are also getting this kind of same error like mine, then you need to do one change inside your build.gradle file. You're inside Android. We need to specify what kind of device we need to build the APK, debug APK. So it will be better since this is an x86-64 app. So here what we are going to do, creating a default config NDK. We are specifying this device to build application. Only do this if you are getting the same error like mine. If you are not getting the same error like mine, don't do it. Now if this thing is working for you, then it's okay. And if this thing is also not working for you, then you can just comment it out and use this, the lower one. Any of them will work. Now if we try to restart, now our application is working. So make sure if you are getting the same error like mine, you need to either apply this ABI filters, this one or this one. Any of them will work for you on your emulator. Now it's okay. Now first we need to create a login page. Inside our left folder views, let's create a login.dart file. We'll be also requiring a signup.dart file. Let's do this quickly. Let's write the service logic first. It's auth service.dart. Mainly we'll be requiring sign up, login, logout, whether the user is authenticated or not. Here let's just create a class auth service. First, let us write the function for creating a new account using email and password method. Here we'll be creating a function create account with email. We'll be required to pass the email and password, make it async, and then we'll use try catch. Here we'll use await Firebase instance dot create user with email password, and here we are going to be passing the email and password, and then we'll just return account created. Or in case of any exception, we'll just return the error message to string. In this case, our account will get created. Similar to our create account with email, we'll write another function for logging with email password method. This will be login with email. Here we are going to be passing email password, and we'll make this as async, and then we'll use try catch. Here we are going to be using await Firebase auth dot instance dot sign in with email and password. Here again we will be passing email and password, and then we'll return login successful. In case of any exception, we'll just return the error message to string. In this way we have written our login function. Now in case of our logout, it will be simple, Firebase auth.instant.signout, and we need to also verify whether the user is signed in or not. So for that we are creating a future boolean function is logged in. Here we'll just try to get the current user. If user is not equal to null, then user exists, it will return true, else it will return false. Now we have written all the functions for our authentication. Let's just build a UI. First, let us start with login page. First, just create a stateful widget, name it as login page. Here we'll be having a scaffold. Here we'll be creating a form key to text editing controller. First one will be our email controller, and second one will be our password controller. Inside scaffold body, we'll be having a column. Column will have children's, and we'll be wrapping this column with a form. And we need to pass the key. Our key will be the form key that we have created, this one. Let's just add it inside our routes. So /login will redirect to context of login page. For now, instead of home page, let's also make it as login page and restart. So this is our login page. Let's have an empty sized box first. Here we'll be having a sized box of media query dot of context dot size dot width into 0.9 means 90% of the font width. Then it will have column as a child, and column cross axis alignment will be cross axis alignment dot start, and it will have children's. First text will be login, and it will add, and let's add some decoration. Here we'll be having the text get started with your account and a sized box for spacing, and again a sized box of width 90%, and then child will be text form field, a simple validator if it's not empty. So if the value is empty, then it will return email cannot be empty, else null, and controller will be our email controller. And in decoration we'll just add some outline border, and text will be email. So it will be something like this. And after this sized box, we'll have one more sized box of height 10 for some spacing, and then after that we'll be having another sized box of width 90%, child text form field. This time validator, we are going to be checking the length. If length is less than 8, then we'll return password should be at least 8 characters, else return null. And controller will be our password controller, obscure text to true so that it will hide the password. And in decoration we'll use import decoration. We'll have a outline border, and label text will be password, so it will look something like this. Now after this sized box, we'll have one more sized box of height 10, and after this sized box we'll have another sized box of height 60 and width as 90% of screen. Your child will be elevated button, on pressed we are doing nothing, and child will be text login, so it will look something like this. After this sized box, we'll have one more sized box of height 10 for some spacing. After this sized box of height 10, we'll have a row of main axis alignment to main axis alignment dot center. The children's will be text don't have an account, and then we'll have a text button. Child will be sign up. We can do one thing, we can just wrap this column with a center widget. Now it's okay. Here we need to design our sign up page. Inside our sign up, we can just copy the full login page and paste it inside sign up. We need to do some changes, like the name of the page will be sign up page, else here it will be sign up, and the text will be create new account and get started. And this, instead of login, this will be sign up. Instead of don't have an account, this will be already have an account, and it will redirect us to login. Inside our main.dart file, we'll create one more route. This will be /signup, and it will take us to our sign up page. Let's make the root route as sign up page. Let's restart our application. Now it's all correct. Here we need to write one more logic to check whether the user is signed in or not. So here let's create one more stateful widget. It will be check user. Here instead of this placeholder, we'll return a scaffold, and body will have a center, child, circular, process indicator, and the main logic will be inside init state. So here we'll use auth service dot is logged in. This is a boolean function. It will either return true or false. If user is logged in, we'll send the user to our home page, else we'll send it to our login page. So let's do one thing. Here inside our root route, we'll send it to check user, and for our home route, we'll send it to home page. Now after this, we'll be getting a value. Here we are going to be getting a value either true or false. So value, if we have value, then we'll navigate the user to the home route, else we'll navigate the user to our login route. So this is the thing. Let's try to restart our application. Now it's just taking us to login page because we are not logged in. Now we have written all the functions, but we have not set up our Firebase. Just continue to console. Here we need to visit authentication. Click on get started. Here we need to choose email and password. We need to enable email and password. Save. Now what we want, when we click on the sign up button, we should get redirected to sign up page. For that we'll use navigator.push name and our route name will be /signup. So if we click here, it's taking us to the sign up page, and in case of sign up, when we click on this login button, it should take us, or we can do, instead of navigator.pushname, we can use navigator.pop. It will redirect us to the back page. So in this way it's okay. We have already linked the controllers with the text form field. Now only thing that is required to link the function with this login and sign up button, we have written the functions inside our auth file. Now we need to link it. Let's start with sign up. We are using validator for validation. First we need to validate all the controllers data. So here we'll use form key.current state null check.validate. Now if we click on sign up here, it's showing us some validation error, and if we don't have any validation error, in that case we will be using auth service.create account with email. Here we need to pass the email. Email was inside underscore email controller dot text, and password was inside underscore password controller dot text. Now this function will be returning some string, either account created or some error. So we need to show that to the user that whether your account got created or there was an error. So here we'll be getting some value. Then if our value is equal to account created, in that case we'll show a snack bar of account created and will redirect the user to our home route. Else we'll show a snack bar that the error message will be inside value, and we'll just decorate the text to colors.white, and we'll just decorate the text style, change the color to colors.white and the snack bar background color to red, and just save it. Let's try to sign up now. Let's create an account. Let's sign up. Here we are getting as account created and we are getting redirected to our home page. Let's try to restart our application. Let's see whether our check user logic is working correctly or not. Yes, so it's redirecting us to the home page directly instead of redirecting to the login page. It means the user is authenticated. And here, like we did inside our sign up page, let's just copy this, and here in our login page we are going to paste that logic, but instead of this auth service.create account with email, it will be login with email, and when we logged in we are returning login successful. Here in case of matching, this will not be account created, this will be login successful, and also this one login successful. Here we need to log out first. For that, inside our home.dart file, here after our app bar we'll have an actions. Your action will have an icon button. On press we'll use auth service dot logout. It may take some time. Let's make it await and make it async. Icon will be icon of icons dot logout, and after we log out we need to use navigator dot push replacement name to our login route. Now let's try to log out. It's taking us to login page. Let's try to restart once to verify whether our check user is working correctly or not. So we are now logged out and it's taking us to the login page directly. Now let's try to log in to the account that we have recently created. So here it's showing login successful and we are now logged in. If we restart, it's taking us to our home page directly. Now what we want to do here, after we upload any image inside our Cloudinary storage, we will show that image or the video that we upload inside the home page, and we'll store that data inside our Cloud Firestore that this user has uploaded this data, and from there we'll be also learning how we can delete the data. So let's do that. Inside our Firebase console, now we'll go to Firestore database. Click on create database. Here you need to select the region nearest to you or where you are willing to create a new project. In my case, I'm selecting Asia South 2. Just make it in production mode. Suppose inside our Firestore, let's create a collection as user files, and then we need to add some. This will be the user ID of that specific user. Let's just add name as something random. We're just creating the collection. Now we are authenticated. So here it's saying it's null. So what we can do here, so if we have file picker result not equal to null, only in that case navigate to this upload area. Now let's run and test it. Now let's click here and cancel it. It's not taking us to upload area. The problem is now fixed. Now after we open the file picker, we are getting redirected to the upload area page here, and after we are uploading using upload to Cloudinary function, we need to also save the name of the file, the URL of the file, and the file size or the time when it was created. So we need to store all those information. For that, let's create one more file. Let's name the file as dbservice.dart. You will create a class dbservice. First, we are going to be requiring the user ID. For this, we'll be creating a user variable. This user is from Firebase Auth, so it may be null. It will be from Firebase Auth dot instance dot current user. Now first we need to write the function for saving the data. Like when we are uploading the file to Cloudinary storage, we are getting some response, and the response contains the URL of the image that we can access for reading the image, reading the file, and the name and the public ID and all these things. We need to store it inside our Firestore. That will be required. So here we are creating the function to save file links to Firestore. Here we are creating a future void function, save uploaded files data. We are passing a map of string key and value string data. It's an async function. Here we'll use Firebase firestore.instance.collection, and the name of the collection is user-files, the same collection, and then the document ID will be the user ID, and here we'll create a collection, name it as upload, and again this time we are generating a random document ID, and we'll set the data that we are accepting here. So this Firebase Firestore is from cloud-firestore.dart. Now in this way we are going to be saving all the uploaded files data. We also need to read the data that we have saved. So for that we need to write another function. Here we are going to be writing the function to read all uploaded files. It will be stream of query snapshot. The name of the function is read uploaded files. Here we'll use Firebase firestore.instance.collection, the same collection where we are saving the file, the same collection where we are saving the uploaded files data. Document ID will be user.user ID, the current user ID, and collection will be uploads. And here we'll use snapshot because we are going to be listening to that data. First we need to check once that what's the response that we are getting. Let's just upload a file. Let's upload this file again. Now after we upload we get this response. So what we want here, from here we'll be requiring the public ID, the resource type, the created add value, and the URL. So we'll be requiring this 4 keys. Just remember those keys. First we'll be creating a map of string comma string. This will be the let's name it as required data. Here first we'll be requiring the public ID, so it will be inside JSON body. We are saving the data in response body, but the response body is in the form of string, so we need to convert this to JSON first. So here we'll be creating JSON response, and here we'll use json.decode to pass string to a JSON object. Here we'll pass our response body. Now we can get JSON response. and the key that we are accessing, we need the public ID. So it will be public ID. Then we can take the resource type. This will be inside resource type, and then some more will be requiring like bytes, then the secure URL, and then created that. Rest we don't need anything. The name of the file is also required, so this is the display name. We'll be requiring this. Let's make this as name, and let's make this as display name. Just make it accordingly like we need. This is the name of the key. We can name it as we like, and this was the key from our JSON response. So here we are extracting the required data. Now our required data will be inside this variable. After we extract the required data, we can call dbService.save uploaded files data. Here we need to pass map of string data, and this will be passing the required data, and this thing might take some time to complete, so we'll use await. And we need to also read the data inside our home.dat, inside our home page. For this, what we are going to do, inside the scaffold body, let's use grid view builder. Here we need to pass grid delegate. Let's just use some cross-axis element 2, child aspect ratio 1, and cross-axis spacing 8, and main axis spacing 8. So in item builder, let's pass the context and index. Here for now, let's just return a container for now. So we need to also pass the item count. Now we will be requiring this read uploaded files, and it's returning snapshot. So we'll be using stream builder to read those data. So we need to wrap this widget with a stream builder. Our stream will be dbService.read uploaded files, and here we'll use a builder, and builder will return context and snapshot. If our snapshot.has data, our list of user uploaded files will be inside snapshot.data.docs. If our user uploaded files is empty, in that case we can simply return is center child text, no files uploaded. Else we'll be returning this grid view builder, and here we don't need this child. Now in case of it has data, we are doing this. Now else if snapshot.has error, in that case we'll return center text and snapshot.error.toString. Else we'll return center child circular progress indicator. Now it's okay. Let's try to restart. Now the JSON response bytes is in form of integer, so we need to convert this to string for storing. Now inside our Firebase security rule, currently it is saying that read is possible but write is not possible, but we need to modify it such so that we are able to read this collection, and specific user or all the users will only be able to read the document of specific user ID, means their document, not others document. So we need to modify the rules such. First, it's giving us read access to all the documents, but we don't want that. What we want that first user will be able to access user files and the specific user ID of that user, and will allow read and write to that specific user if it's authenticated and the user ID is equal to the user ID of the current user, and they will be able to access all the sub collections. Let's just publish it, I will link this rule inside the description. You can get it from there. So now if we restart our application, it's showing no files uploaded like this here. Now let's try to upload a file. Let's upload this one. Let's click on upload. Here we are getting file upload successfully. Here we are simply returning a container. It means that it's also saving inside our firestore. Let's verify. Inside data, this is the user ID, this is the uploads, and here we are having a random document ID, the public ID, the name of the file, and the URL. So we can store the name from the file picker result that we have here, the file picker result dot files dot first dot name. We are going to be getting the actual name of the file that the user is uploading. Now let's try to upload. Let's upload this. Let's upload it. So here it's showing file uploaded successfully. Let's verify with our firestore. So here we are getting, this was a dummy document that we have created, and here the user ID, uploads, the extension ID, name, original name of the file, size, and the URL. So it's able to store this. Now we'll be reading that data. Here the data is coming, but since we are returning an empty container, for that it's not showing anything. Here is snapshot.hasData, uploaded user files. Here we are just returning an empty container. Here we need to read the collection data. So from here we'll be requiring some data like string name. Name will be inside uploaded, user uploaded files for that specific index, and the key that we are saving. Name will be inside. We are storing it inside name, so we can simply use this name. We also need the extension. Extension will be inside extension. And we'll be requiring the public ID. So public ID, this one will be inside ID. Also require the file URL. We also require the file URL. It will be inside URL, and the rest data we don't require. Here we are getting this error because we have not provided the item count. It will be snapshot, or we can say user uploaded files dot length. And here inside the container, here we'll be having a child of column, and child will have children's. Image will be image.network. The URL will be inside file URL. We can simply copy this and paste it here. Now we need to restart it once. So now you're showing the file that we have uploaded. Let's make the width as double dot infinity, and here after this image widget we'll have the text that will write the name. So here we'll be having the name of the file like this. It would be better that if we wrap this with a row, and first we'll have the icon of icons.image, and then we have the text. The image name can do overflow, so it's better that we have max line to 1 and overflow to text overflow dot ellipse like this. We'll just add a sized box of width 10. Here image, let's wrap it with expanded, and height will be to double dot infinity. So here to understand the container, let's add a colors dot gray. Okay, so main axis alignment will be main axis alignment dot start. So here we should also make the row as expanded, and after this row we'll have a sized box of height 10. Let's wrap the text with a widget expanded and wrap the row with the padding. Now it's okay. Now let's just reduce the shape color. Let's make it 100. Now it's okay. Let's upload one more image. So our file got uploaded. It's looking something like this. Now it's okay. If you want, we can also increase the width to double dot infinity and height also to double dot infinity. Fit to box fit dot cover. Now it's okay, but it might happen that somebody uploads a video, means a MP4 file. In that case, what we are going to do, for that reason we store the extension. So here we can write the logic, like if it's an image, then we are going to be showing the image thumbnail, else we are going to be showing the video icon. So like this. Here if ext is equal to png, jpg or jpeg, in that case it means that it's an image. In that case we'll use this logic, else we'll show an icon of icons.movie. So let's just verify the data that we have. Here in extension it's storing raw. I think that we should not use this extension. Like we were displaying the extension when we are uploading the file. Like suppose when you are selecting this, it was storing the extension as jpg, and here we are getting the result from the response. So it would be better that we take the extension from file picker result only. Let's use file picker result dot files dot first dot extension. So it may be there or may not be there. So in that case, let's just store empty string, or we can add a null check. Now let's just upload this. So here it's showing the image, but here it's not showing. So in this case, it would be better that we delete these two documents. Now if you are deleting the documents from Firestore, it is not deleting the data from our Cloudinary store. You'll find that data is being stored here. So let's try to upload a video, like this time it's MP4. So here it's showing file upload successfully. If we check our Firestore database, this one is coming as MP4 and the name of the file is correct and everything is correct. Instead of this image icon that we have here, we'll be showing the video icon only. So here we can use the logic. If this is an image, in that case you will show the image icon, else we'll show the icons.movie icon. Now it's okay. Now what we want, that if we click on this, we should be able to view the image, and in case if this is a video, we should be able to view the video. Otherwise, what's the use of having this kind of application? So for viewing an image, it's simple. We need to create one more file. Let's name it as preview image.dart. Let's create a stateful widget, name it as preview image. Here we'll not be using named routes. So for that we can simply pass the image URL directly, and we need to also add formal parameters. Here we'll return a scaffold abba. Abba will have a title text preview image, and after the abba we'll be having body. Here it will use image.network and the URL will be inside URL widget.url. We also want that it should take the full height, so for that we'll use double dot infinity, and width will be double dot infinity. Fit, this time fit will be box fit dot fill. This was for preview image. For playing video, we need to use a package video player. Let's use Flutter pub add video player. Let's make a stateful widget preview video. Spelling is wrong, just rename it correctly. Now here also, similar to our preview image, here we'll be having a scaffold. Abba will be abba title text preview video. Also we'll be not using named route, so we'll be passing the string directly to the widget video URL, and everything will be starting inside the init state. First we need to create a video controller variable underscore controller, and now here inside our init state, here our controller will be video player controller dot network URL. The URL will be inside widget.video URL, and then we need to initialize it. Then we need to just set the state, and that's all. Here we need to also have buttons for play and pause. So for that we'll be using floating action button. Here we'll be having floating action button on press. Here if controller.value is playing, we'll give the option to pause, else we'll give the option to play. Now inside our preview video we have not yet written the body part. Inside body we'll have a center child controller dot value is initialized. If it's initialized, then in that case we'll show aspect ratio controller dot value dot aspect ratio, and in child we'll show video player with that controller, else we'll show a container. Now let's try to click here. Here it's still not loading. Let's try to restart, and let's stop the application and run it again from scratch. We can just make this super.init at top, and then we can call it. Now let's check. So here it's loading the video. Now if you play, it's also playing the video, so it means that it's correct. Now we are able to play the video and also pause the video. It means that our logic is correct. So instead of this height double dot infinity and width double dot infinity, we can just remove this, and if we use boxwidth.fill, it is looking more better. Now let's write the logic for deleting image from Cloudinary. Currently if we check our public uploads, we have uploaded so many files, so we need to remove them. First let us start by writing the function inside our Cloudinary service. Here we are going to be writing the logic to delete specific file from Cloudinary. First we'll be requiring the crypto package, so let's use flutter pub add crypto. Let's also import it. Now here for deleting the file from Cloudinary, we'll be requiring our API key and secret. Depending upon you, if you think that your application only requires you to upload the image and not delete the image, then you can skip this step. Now we'll be requiring API keys and secret keys. So here inside our API keys, we need to copy our API key, add our API secret key, and then inside our environment variable, we need to write both of them. Like this one will be our API key and this one will be secret key. Just copy this and paste it here, and also first we need to view it. Here we need to add our password, and here we need to copy it and just paste it here. And now save this file, visit Cloudinary service, and here we'll start writing our function for deleting the file from Cloudinary. So if we go by documentation, we need to use this API endpoint api.cloudinary.com v1-1 and the name of our cloud, then the file extension type, and then destroy. Here we need to post the data, we need to provide the public ID, a timestamp, API key, and the signature. So we need to pass this data to our endpoint. So this is the way. I will link this URL in the description. So let's start here. First we'll create a function delete from Cloudinary. Here we need to pass the public ID because it's must. Make it async, and here first we'll load all the details from our .env file like the Cloudinary cloud name, Cloudinary API key, and Cloudinary secret key. Now we'll get the date time to time timestamp. So for that we'll use datetime.now.to milliseconds epoch divided by 1000, and here we'll be getting the fractional result. Then we'll prepare our signature. So it will be our public ID and timestamp and API secret. So this will make our API signature. So this is just a sign, and then we need to generate the signature. So bytes will be utf.encode.toSign, and digest will be shu1.convert, and we need to pass the bytes. This shu1 is from crypto package. So if you have not yet imported crypto package, then you might get error. And then we'll create a string signature. It will be digest.toString. Then we need to prepare our request URL. So like as it is mentioned, we need to call the URL api.cloudinary.com v one by one. Then our cloud name. Since all our extensions were raw, so we are strictly applying raw and then destroy to delete it. And then we'll create a request. So here we'll use http.post. We'll pass the URI, and then inside body, like the things that are required to pass, like public ID, API key, signature, timestamp. We'll pass all of them. Public ID will be the public ID that we are receiving here, like this. Timestamp that we are creating for creating the signature, API key that we are reading here, and the signature that we are creating from crypto by combining the public ID, timestamp and API secret. And then if our response.status code is 200, in that case we'll just convert it to JSON object inside response body, and then we'll just print response body. If response body result is okay, it means that file has been deleted successfully, else it has failed to delete the file. And if it's not 200, it means it has some kind of other issues. In that case, we'll just print fail to delete the file and the status code and reason why it failed. Then we can return false. Now you can see, now we have written the function for deleting the file from Cloudinary. We need to simply call this function in case of deleting, and this will delete the file. Now we need a delete button. What we want, if we long press it, it should give us the delete option, like to delete or something. Now let us first write the function inside our firestore to delete a specific document. Let's create a function delete file. Here we need to pass the document ID as well as the public ID, because we'll be calling the delete from Cloudinary function from this function only. So it will be async, and here we'll be storing the result in a result variable. So in final result, we'll call await delete from Cloudinary, and we need to also import this from Cloudinary service.dart, and it will return either true or false, and depending upon that we can do some actions. If we have result as true, in that case we'll also delete the document from firestore. So if result, we'll use await Firebase firestore.instance.collection. The name of our collection was user files dot document ID for that specific user ID, and collection was uploads, like this. And then we'll delete the document ID that we are passing to this function. After we have deleted from firestore, we'll return true. If we fail to delete, if the result that is coming from here is false, then directly we'll return false. Now we need to simply call this function when we want to delete the file. So here what we want, in case of long press, we want to show the delete option. So for that we need to visit home.dart. Here in case of single tap, means on tap, we are navigating to preview image or preview video. So on long press, we'll give the option to delete the file. So before deleting, we also need to show some warning. So for this we'll use show dialog option here in builder. will pass context. Your inbuilder will pass context of alert dialog. Here the title will be delete file and content will be are you sure you want to delete the file. Let's long press here. It's showing are you sure you want to delete the file, and after the content will be using actions returning text buttons. So first text button will be no, text will be no, and other text button will be yes. Let's long press here, yes or no. In case of no, just use navigator.pop context. In case of yes, we need to delete the file. We need to call the firestore function delete file method. So make it async first, then use await db service dot the function that we have written delete file. Here we need to pass the document ID as well as the public ID. We were storing the public ID here, so we need to just pass it like this. The document ID will be inside snapshot.data.docs for specific index.id. Just add a null check here. Now this delete file function will either return true or false, and depending upon that we can show some actions. So here we can store boolean delete result. If the result is true, if delete result, in that case we'll return a snack bar of file deleted, else we'll return error in deleting file. Now it's okay. And after we have deleted the file, we can close the alert dialog. Navigator.pop context. Let's try to delete this file. Yes. So here we are getting error in deleting file. Let's check what problem we are facing. Here it's saying failed to delete the file, unauthorized. So let's try to stop the application and run it again from scratch. Now let's try to delete this image. Here we are getting file deleted successfully. Now we need to also verify with our console whether our file was deleted or not. So our file was also deleted. So in this way we can create, update, or so in this way we can create new files and save it inside Cloudinary storage, and also we can delete it like this. And if you want, we can again update it also. Now in this way we have done our application. Now this is limited to this, because if we log out and create a new account, the specific user will find no files uploaded, because it's only limited to the specific user who creates the account, and it will be only visible to the user who is creating the account, because we have written the Firebase rules such. Now if we try to upload some images with this account, then it's working, and if we check our Firestore database, then it's also adding the document inside our Firestore. And if we want, we can also hold it and delete it from our Cloudinary storage and Firestore database. Now let us also add a download button inside our application so that the user will be able to download their files which they have uploaded inside the application. So for this, we'll have a download button after the text that we have. So inside this container, after expanded text, we'll add an icon button. For now it will be a void function. Then we'll have the icon of icons.download like this. Now we are having the download button. When we click on this download button, it should download the file, but for that first we need to write the logic. Now first we'll be requiring to add some packages. For that we'll need to add path provider and permission handler. Just install both of them. After you have installed, we need to also ask for the permission to save inside our storage. So for this, inside Android manifest.xml file, we'll request the 3 permissions to read external storage, to write external storage, and manage external storage. So we'll be requiring all these 3 permissions inside our manifest file. Just add 3 of them. And now here inside our Cloudinary service, we are going to be writing the function for saving the files inside our downloads folder. So for this, let's create a function download file from Cloudinary. Here it will be an async function, and here we need to pass the URL of the file and the file name. Then we'll wrap it with try catch. Here first we'll request the permission. This permission storage.request is for Android 10 and lower, and manage external storage is for Android 11 and higher. So we'll be requiring both. If status is equal to permission.granted and manage status is equal to permission.granted, it means storage permission is granted and we are good to go. Else we'll just open the app setting and ask the user to enable the external storage permission. Our download directory will be storage/emulated0/download. This is the root download folder that we have. Here we are creating a download directory variable and storing that directory. If our download directory does not exist, in that case we are just returning false and printing download directory does not exist. Else we are creating a file path for the download directory path plus /the file name that we are passing to this function, this one, and then we will send an HTTP GET request along with the URL that we are passing to this function, this one, and then here we'll create a file variable file and provide the file path. Here we'll just use await file, write as bytes, response.body bytes. The response will come in form of bytes and we are just converting it to files, and then we are just printing that file saved to this location and we are returning true. Else we'll be returning false and printing why our download failed, and in case of catch similar to this, we'll just returning false. Now we have written the function for downloading file from our Cloudinary storage. We need to link this because when we click on this function, we should be calling this function download file from Cloudinary and pass the URL, and it should be able to download the file. But before that, just stop the application because we have done some changes in Android manifest.xml, and here just we are returning true or false. So in this case, if we are returning true, then we can say, as we are showing snack bar, we can simply use this logic. Just copy this. Here first make this function async because it may take some time in saving the file inside our downloads folder. Then create a variable, let's say download result, and then use await. Here we'll use download file from Cloudinary. We need to pass the URL. Now our URL was inside the collection URL. Now our URL is this, and here also we are storing it in file URL. So let us just pass the file URL for the URL, and our file name was inside name. So let's just pass it here, and the download result will either return true or false, because it will return true or false, and then we can use this logic. Instead of delete result, it will be download result. So if we are having download result, then we'll just show file downloaded. Else will show error in downloading the file. Let's do one thing for checking the permissions. Let's just uninstall the application and install it again from scratch to verify whether it's asking permissions or not. Now let's try to log into our existing account. Now we are logged in, and here it's also showing the files. Let's try to download this file and also check our debug console. So here it's asking us for the permission because it was not able to get the permission. Let's allow it. Now here it's showing file downloaded. We need to verify with our storage that whether it has downloaded the file or not. Let's check with our files whether it has downloaded or not. So inside files, so as you can see that it just downloaded at 12:53 and now it's 12:54. So in this way downloads is also working. Let's do a final testing of our application. Now let's do one thing. Currently we have this 4 images. If we add one more image and upload, you'll find that this data got created inside our firestore database, and we can preview this image, or if you want we can also download this. Just click here on download and it just downloaded the file, so it means that it's working. Let's try to do one thing. Let's create another account and sign up. Here as you can see here, since this is a new account, they will not have any files uploaded. When we upload files, now it has added in Firestore. It doesn't refresh automatically, so we need to do it by ourselves. Let's refresh it. So now we have 3 collections. This one, this was image 45.jpg, and now if we try to add one more file like a video, it also uploaded this, and this is the video. If you want we can preview the image. If you want we can view this video, play or pause. So that's all for this video. Now I hope that you will be able to integrate Cloudinary with your Firebase applications very easily after watching this tutorial. So thanks for watching, and like and subscribe for more upcoming videos.